Good morning, everybody. I hope we are all doing good. It's your girl Seeker in the house. As usual, it's Saturday. Yesterday, I promised that we were going to talk about health-related issues. But how amazing is it that before we start delving into different kinds of health challenges that people go through, what happens in life, and all of that, then I start this whole series of health and wellness by talking about my own self, how I survived all the tragedies that I went through with my own body, with my own health. And so welcome everybody to this live video. It's quite an emotional video, so I'm going to try and keep a handle on my emotions. It's not sad because I'm sad, but it's just when I look and I think at and think back to all the things that I've been through and the fact that I'm still alive and standing. I get so excited about it. I am so grateful for life. And I know that it is only going to get better as I go forward in this life. And so good morning to everybody who is here watching this live video. My name is Seeker, as you know, and it's a fantastic day that the Lord has made that we are all to rejoice and be glad in. Now, before I get into why I'm here today, I want to remind all of you about the webinar that is coming off on the 25th of November. That is going to be absolutely amazing, that we are planning and working towards a winning strategy and mindset that's going to get us through 2024 so that we're having different outcomes and we are all winning together. If you want to be a part of it, I will put the link to booking your place on that webinar after I've jumped up this video so that you can also book yourself a place and we can have a fabulous time on that day. It's going to be 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So you have really no excuse for anything. Thank you so much, Trisha. How are you, sweetheart? I miss you so much. I haven't seen you in a very long time or heard from you in a very long time. Reach out, darling. Trisha, reach out. So here it goes. Those of you who've been here for a while would know that I've had a lot of challenges with my health. But the particular time in my life that I want to focus on today is sometime last year. Yeah, I come up every day, I record videos, or I come live and we talk. But just as everybody else in this life, behind the scenes, I was also struggling with my own issues, just like you do too. A lot of people watch social media, content creators or influencers and think that they don't have any problems. Everything about them is good. They're fantastic. Life is good for them. They're lucky. We have our own struggles too that we go through behind closed doors. We are just human after all. So I'm just putting that there. The other thing I want to say before I get started is that this is my story. It happened to me, Sika, me, in real time. My story, okay? So everybody's experience is different. And what happens to you or has happened to you is different. But this is my own story. It happened to me. I lived it. So I'm telling you what has been my story. Now, I had 16 operations by this time, surgeries in a hospital, in a theater, 16 of them by this point, for different things. Those of you who have followed this page for a while know that Seeker has polycystic ovarian syndrome, something I've struggled with for the best part of my life and managing my symptoms. Apart from that, there was a time in my life when I found a tumor, cancerous tumor that was removed, and they had to go back and make sure that the margins of this thing had been cleared. So that's 2 surgeries in one for something with the C word that everybody dreads and doesn't want to hear about. I'd been there. I also have suffered with osteoarthritis for a good long time. So everything from my waistline down was hurting. It's inflamed. The cartilage on the bones wearing. So movement has been a challenge for me. 16 operations I'd had at that point. It was something else. Apart from all of these things, and again, those of you who have been on this page for some time, Sika would always come back in sunglasses telling you, I have a migraine, I don't feel too good, I'm wearing shades, and people will be asking, why are you sat inside? There's no sunlight and you're wearing sunglasses, because I couldn't stand or bear any light. If you're a migraine sufferer, you would understand. You have the aura. It starts with these wavy, jagged lines that, you know, when you're describing it to people, they think you've gone crazy. But if you're really a migraine sufferer, you would understand. You have these jagged, wavy lines that only you can see, right? And then my tongue just felt like double its size in my mouth. I couldn't talk, I couldn't do, and all of these things are happening in the space of a few minutes. And then the next thing is this banging headache that feels like somebody literally has a nail and a hammer and they're driving it to the back of your head the whole time. It's not pleasant. It's not fun. And when this happens, sometimes I could be in the middle of a meeting and it will happen. And I'll have to find a way to quickly text my boss to say, we are there again, I have to go. And they all understand. So they just say, all right, then we'll see you when you're better. And I'm in that hole, no light, no sound, darkness, complete darkness for days. Sometimes it's a week, sometimes it's more. It's horrible. It's horrible. I won't wish it on my worst enemy. It's horrible. You can't keep any food down. You're vomiting. It was horrific. This was my life last year. Apart from that, I also was suffering with inflammation. It just felt like the whole inside of my body was on fire and it was swollen inside. I can't show you that, you know, my intestines or my gut was swollen, but that's how it felt. So I couldn't lie on my tummy. If I tried to lie on my belly, if I did that for 2-3 minutes, I can't move. It hurt that much. It felt like my whole body was just literally burning inside and inflamed. The osteoarthritis was bad. My knuckles, my hip, my knees, my feet, my ankle, my toes. Oh, they hurt so much. And some of these 16 operations that I'm telling you about, they were done on these places. Because my knee will come out of socket, I can't walk, I can't move, and they had to repair certain things. It's been a journey. Now, because of all the headaches and all of these things, I was also having weepy eyes. So I wake up in the morning and I'm not crying, but my eyes will be drooping in tears for minutes on end. If you looked at me, you'd think I was crying, but I'm not. I'm fine. But my eyes were drooping with tears, twitching. It felt like my eyeballs were going to fall out of socket into my hands. And my temples and this whole part of my face, my eyes, were burning. These were all things I was going through behind closed doors. I'll come on social media, we'll have a conversation. I'm trying to brave a smile and laugh and all of that. But something was really happening behind the scenes. And it wasn't pleasant. And you know, all these things, they bring down stress because you know you're still young. And so if you're going through all of these things in your lifetime right now, what's going to happen later on? And that's just brought in even more stress. Oh my God, what's going to happen? I'm only on the 4th floor. What am I going to do on the 6th floor? Like, what is all of this? Why is this happening to me? And I couldn't understand because I can't get a grip of my own body, of my own health. It was painful. It was stressful. If you haven't had stresses that are related to health, you probably don't understand. You think, oh, what is this girl talking about? What is all this noise? If you've been sick before, if you really have had an illness in your lifetime before, and you know how it feels, you might be able to understand what I'm telling you today. It was dreadful. And I don't wish it on my worst enemy if I had one. Now, the stresses of my job was just adding onto everything. You know how when it rains, it pours? Yeah, that's how it felt. The stress from work. I see people at their most fragile points of their life with what I do. I see a lot. I have the opportunity to be a voice or an eye space or window into people's lives to see everything that is going on with them. So in this job, you're a priest, you're a pastor, you're a counselor, you're trying to help the person, you're a psychologist, you're everything wrapped into one. And by the end of the day, I am just so drained from everything, from seeing what people are dealing with on a daily basis in their lives. That was stressing me out. And so I couldn't sleep. Sometimes I go to bed and I'm thinking about somebody that had something that I tried to help with and I couldn't, and I'm feeling so bad about it. And this is just fueling insomnia. I can't sleep. And you know, if you can't sleep, the worst thing that can happen to you is your inability to sleep. It's horrible. It's horrible. I've had bouts of insomnia for a long time. For over a decade and some now, because I was right in the middle of a very traumatic, tragic experience that I'm working through. And because of that, my sleep was off. It was just, some days I would sleep and I wouldn't get a wink of sleep till the next morning. And now you have to wake up and function for a whole day. I don't know if there's anybody here who's had that before, but it's not funny. I can tell you that. You can't function. You're tired. Your whole body hurts. You're irritable because you haven't slept. Your body hasn't rested. It was dreadful. It was a nightmare. Absolute nightmare. And with not sleeping comes something that you're probably not going to be aware of unless you're somebody that goes to the hospital well enough to keep tabs on your health and go get regular checkups done so you know where you're at. And this is my story. So I went to see my doctor and my blood pressure was taken. And my blood pressure was through the roof. And it carried on for a good few months. I couldn't do anything to get this bad boy down. And I was told, if you don't do something, like if this thing is not going to play ball, then I'm sorry, Sika, but you're going to have to start taking medication. Something I did not want to hear. It was bad. And so you're having this chronic back pain, your whole body hurts, you can't sleep at night, your blood pressure is soaring, you're having weepy eyes, you're getting migraines, your body hurts, osteoarthritis, inflammation. One person. Can you imagine that life? Yeah, but I was still here. Talking, laughing, and all of that. Now, there is something that really hurts. But I have to talk about it just so we put it all into context. We were all here 3 years ago when the whole world was in turmoil because of this new virus that had been found. And everybody was scared. The whole world was scared. We all wanted to live. And we put our faith, whether we like it or not, is the truth. We put our faith in the medics. That they were the ones that could bring something that was going to help us. And so was this jab that a lot of us went for. Yeah, it saved lives. I'm not knocking orthodox medicine at all. I have family members. My own sister is a medic. So I'm not knocking orthodox medicine at all. It has its place. But the truth about this is that when you're going through health challenges or when there's something and they're looking for new medications for something, the fact is that there's a lot of research that is done. And before this thing comes out and we are all treated with it. And the truth about it is that even though these jabs help to keep us alive, it also brought some complications to certain people. Unfortunately, I was one of those people. So I took my 2 doses of the jab, and I came back and I was doing my crying by myself in my house because I was dealing with the aftermath. And everybody else thought I was crazy. The medics didn't want to hear nothing about it, but I was struggling. I know what was happening to me, but nobody believed me. It was a sad, lonely, miserable place to be, on top of all these things that I've told you about that I was going through last year. And so now there comes a point where they found these cysts in the gynae side of things, in my uterus, in my cervix, and because of that, I was bleeding all the time. For a whole year, it was intermittent bleeding. Intermittent bleeding for a whole year. I was exhausted. I was tired. One day I walked into my doctor's office and I told him, I said, I can't do this anymore. That was how desperate I was. I was vulnerable and I was desperate. Because on top of everything that I'm trying to deal with, now I also have to be dealing with bleeding intermittently for a whole year. Like, what is this? Right? And this was my story. It was painful, guys. It really, really was painful. Really painful. And I didn't know what I was going to do. Facing the prospect of having a 17th surgery. And I knew what the 16th surgery, what it did to me. How long it took me to recover. All the pain that I had to endure. And now I have to go through it a 17th time? Like, what am I supposed to do? I don't have any family. My parents live 1,000,000 miles away. I don't have any siblings around me. I have a few good friends, but they've got lives to live too. What am I going to do? It was dreadful, guys. It really, really was. And I hated every single day of it. And just at that time when I thought, it's done. That's it. One night, after not being able to sleep, pacing back and forth in my room and trying to pray, can't concentrate, like I just couldn't do anything. I went to lie on my bed. I laid there. I must have fallen asleep at some point. But then at the crack of dawn, I was awake. My mind is racing. I could feel my heart beating. And I tried to get up because I felt like I needed to pee. Guys, no lie, I couldn't move. Can you imagine? I was in my early 40s and I couldn't move. I was telling my body, get up, and my body was just not responding. I couldn't feel my legs. I couldn't feel my toes. My hands were not moving. Everything was numb. All I could do was blink my eyes, but I couldn't feel anything. Like, I couldn't move. Do you know what that is? The tips of my fingers, the soles of my feet, my fingertips. I couldn't move. I couldn't move. Guys, it was something. I couldn't move. I had done a video the day before. We had been here. We'd laughed. And as I lay there, all I could think about was, so I'm by myself and I'm ill. I can't move my body. So all that's going to happen is that my parents are going to get this news that their daughter, their first child, is coming back home in a box. That's all that I could think about in my head. Guys, it wasn't funny. It wasn't. It really wasn't funny. It really, really wasn't funny. And this isn't why I came abroad. I didn't leave my closest and fantastic, amazing family to choose to want to live a life in Canada and to be taken back home on the 4th floor in a box. That's not the plan. That wasn't how it was meant to be. But this is what happened to me last year. But you know, God has an amazing way of doing things that we can't understand. We can't fathom what God can do in our lives. Sometimes we pray for destiny helpers and, you know, we just say it. And we think that it's going to take a particular shape or form in order for that thing to happen. But just at that time, when I was lying there, not able to move, not being able to get up to do the basic, simple thing of going to the loo to pee, it's when I really realized just how frail and fragile we are as human beings. Just how in a split second, everything about your life can change. And you can go from grace to grass to below grass as if you're nothing. I could see my life and not being alive all dangling in my very eyes, guys. It was not funny. I wouldn't wish this experience on my worst enemy if I had one. It was awful. I am telling you, it was awful. And just at that time, I didn't even know that there was an angel right here on social media. I didn't know her in person, but I saw that she had always shown me love since I started this journey 3 years ago on social media. And unbeknownst to me, she was going to be the same person that God was going to use to help me stay alive. So just about that time, there was an issue that I was involved in because I was trying to help save somebody's life. And as things happen in this life, a lot of the times when you are trying to save somebody else's life and you're doing the best that you humanly possibly can because you have a good heart and you really want to help people, sometimes you end up being the devil's incarnate. Just because people can't see what you're trying to do, or people just want to badmouth you for whatever reason, you that is trying to save somebody's life or help somebody also becomes the devil's incarnate. And that was all adding to all the things that I had told you about. And that stressed me out a lot. There can be nothing worse than to be betrayed by somebody that you hold in high esteem and love so much. Nothing worse. It's the worst form of betrayal. I'm telling you. I've lived it. And all of this was happening just about this time last year. And everybody is watching and screaming, "Oh, Sika, you're doing well," from the sidelines. But I was suffering in silence behind closed doors. Now, my amazing angel, a pastor, her name is Pastor Patience. This amazing woman didn't know me from Adam. Just see my face on social media. A good friend of mine advised me to talk to her. Initially, I was a pastor. Go talk to a pastor. Like, you know me, I just want to stay my one corner. What am I going to talk to a pastor for? But I was suffering. And so I went and I spoke to her. And she introduced me to something truly amazing that saved my life. And why I'm sat here today, to be able to tell you what I was going through back then. So, on the back of not being able to move my body for a time, and laying there and saying my last prayers and crying to God to just give me a second chance, that I will do things so much different. I will listen. I will pay. It's like I'm literally bargaining my life with God. That was what I was doing in that bed that night. And he heard me. and he gave me the second chance. And I decided that my health was going to become one of the major priorities in my life. Much more than ever. It's always been. But now, it has to be a priority on a whole new level if I'm going to stay alive and keep fighting. I've had 17 incisions on my body by this point, and so I have to do something. And so, guys, armed with this, I was scheduled for surgery. And knowing what had happened to me days before going for this surgery where I couldn't move, my mind was not in a good place. I have to say it as it is. I was ready for anything. If I don't make it, this and this and that and that. If I do, if God saves my life this time, my life is going to be different. My way of doing things is going to be different. I went into that theater room that day not knowing what was going to happen to me. And so I went. I had the surgery. I had been given weeks, months of recovery. Don't pick anything heavy. Don't do this. Don't do that. And my good friend Ikwamwa, that does videos with us every Sunday, she was my emergency contact. And so after the surgery was done, this woman took me to her house, and together with her children, I had 2 lovely little nurses and their mom. And for the first 72 hours after surgery, you have to have somebody with you so that if there's any complication, you can be taken back. I stayed with them. They looked after me. But the amazing thing was that after the 3rd day, yeah, there was still a little bit of twinges and aching and pain and whatever. But I was starting to feel much better than I had ever done, because I had started taking this amazing thing that Pastor Patience had told me about. I had ordered it and I had started taking it so that I can start to recover. She had told me all the amazing things that it had done for her and others. And I wanted to put it to the test to see what it does for me and my issues. And the first telltale sign was that surgery that was supposed to take me out and have me laying in bed for weeks on end, after 3-4 days, I could bathe myself properly, like give myself a proper bath, unaided. After 5 days, this bleeding for a whole year and some, it went away and never came back. Yeah, they tried to repair it by surgery and take the cyst out, but I was still told I was going to be bleeding for some time before it stopped. But 5 days later, no more bleeding. I'm like, this is something. Okay. All right. I continued taking this product. And within 10 days, I could walk unaided. I could actually go for a walk on my own. I could cook. I could clean my house unaided. I didn't need any help anymore. I was told not to overdo things. I listened to that. But still, to have an operation where you have general anesthetic and survive that and be able to do things when you've had things poked and prodded inside of you, bits cut out of you, honey. Down below, especially in your abdominal area. Yeah, the women may understand. It was not fun. But within 10 days, I could go for a walk. I could clean my kitchen myself. I could cook for myself, lay my own bed. The only thing that was left was being able to bend over properly and scrub my bath. But even that, bit by bit, little by little, this thing started to shift. Within a week and a half, I was back at work, working the crazy long hours I do, trying to help people and not even thinking about what was going on. I took a few pills of the painkillers that I was given initially. But after 3-4 days, I threw the thing somewhere and I didn't need it anymore. This thing was magical. It was amazing. Now, the thing that Pastor Patience introduced me to, it's called the redox signaling molecules. And they're going to say, what is this scientific, funny, crazy thing that this girl is talking about? You see, at the core of our beings as human beings, your head, your hair, your nails, your hand, your legs, your tummy, your boobs, your bum, every part of you is made up of cells. Our human body, cells, right? Now, these cells go over time. They're working 24. Every second of your life, your cells are at work. When you're sleeping, they're working. When you're whatever, they're working. They only stop working when you're in a box. Apart from that, your cells are constantly at work, producing fuel to keep your whole body moving and to make sure that this body is healthy and strong all of the time. One of the major components of the human cell is a part called the mitochondria. Now, the mitochondria is responsible for generating or creating or producing this fuel that our bodies need through the cells to be able to move. Clap your hands, open your eyes, close them, wink. All of those things are done and controlled by the cells because every part of your body is made up of cells. So this mitochondria is working overtime, generating fuel to get you going, sleeping, waking up, walking, cooking, eating, singing, name it, everything, cells. But apart from generating fuel, it also produces redox signaling molecules. And the cells need this to function because, in order for your body to work effectively, your cells need to be able to coordinate and communicate with each other. You don't want to be winking and crying at the same time, do you? Or when you're trying to tell your brain to get your legs to move in this way, your leg is moving that way. If your cells are not coordinating and speaking to each other, signaled properly, hey, this part of the cell, you need to be in this position so that that one can do this, we are not going to be able to function as people. Now, our bodies itself, the cells in our bodies themselves, are able to produce these redox signaling molecules. And when you're younger, your body is able to make more of it. Second by second, minute by minute, every time, constantly, mitochondria in your cells generating and creating all these redox signaling molecules that your body needs to be able to function properly. Keep your immunity going so that anytime anything, any bug, anything comes into the cells quickly eradicate and get rid of it. Overpower it and get rid of it. If there's any brokenness or any twinges or pains or aches, the cells quickly get to work and function and get rid of all of those things. But the sad reality is that as we get older, when you're younger, your cells are vibrant and producing these redox signaling molecules by the trillions. But as we age, as we get on in age, everything is slowing down. Your cells are not able to produce as much of these redox molecules as it did when you were much younger. And so because of that, Little things that will happen to you. You know, sometimes you'd have a little bruise, and as a child, within a very short time, you're all fixed up and you're good to go. But when an older person falls, it can take you months, sometimes even years, for you to have something resembling getting better. And the older you get, the more chronic it becomes. It's because your cells are just simply not able to produce as much of the redox signaling molecules that your body needs for better functioning, protect you from catching bugs, your immunity being up, repairing damaged tissues from whatever other bugs that you've gotten, and keep your body in optimal health ranges. And this was all of what this redox thing was doing for me when I had that surgery, and I was praying to God that I would recover within the shortest possible time so that I can go back to work. If you live in North America, you know that North Americans don't play with giving vacation for everything. Yeah, you have sick time, blah, blah, but that can run out very quickly, depending on who you work for and what you do. So there's no time to be ill. There's no time to sit around. You just need to get back on your feet and get yourself going. Bills need to be paid on time. There's no slacking when you live abroad. You know, those of you watching us, me here, who live abroad, you know what I'm saying. And so I didn't have any time to slack and be well, like be unwell. There's no time for being sick. You need to be of your optimum level all of the time to keep yourself going if you really want to survive in these countries and keep your body and soul together and, you know, achieve some of the things, the dreams and the goals of this life, for which reason you leave your loved ones, your family, your loved ones, your parents, your whoever, and come live in this place by yourself and isolate yourself so that you can do the things that you set out to achieve in your own life. And this was me. And so this redox started replenishing all that my cells have not been able to produce, and me in particular, having had 17 of those operations. You can just imagine the state of my cells without using these redox signaling molecules to supplement what my body is producing itself. And so a year ago, I started taking this redox into my body. Little by little, it was fixing things. Little by little, I was recovering. Little by little, things were beginning to change in my body. The first noticeable change, as I said, was this surgery and the recovery time. How quickly things shifted and things began to change for me. The second thing was that in May of this year, public sector workers for the government of Canada, we took a French leave. We went on strike for better conditions of work. It lasted about 3 weeks, maybe a bit less. But in that time, we were out there protesting and all sorts of things were happening. And in order to keep ourselves, body and soul together, because it was freezing cold whilst we were out there trying to prove a point. It was cold. It was cold. On some of the days, there was rainy, snow, rain. And we were stood in that for hours trying to make a point. If you have any kind of arthritis and you know how it feels, you would know that you and cold, you're not good friends. Your bone and cold, they are not good friends. And so to be out there for hours on end, that was something. But I got overly enthusiastic because that's just me. There was some good African music that was blaring in the background. Some of the guys brought these speakers and they were playing some good Afrobeat. I couldn't stand still. Forgetting my own situation, I was jumping around and trying to boogie like everybody else. And I made one tragic move, and something split in my knee, and it hurts like crazy. And I came home stumbling in an Uber to get home. I got back and I'm like, I've made all these jumps and hoops to get better, and now look at what I've done to myself. How could I do this to me? To me, how could I do this? How silly can you be? Okay, now I have to have crutches. I was put on bed and sitting rest for weeks to recover. But I was still taking my Redox, and I was still enjoying it. Within 2 weeks, I packed the crutches away. I was walking. I could do whatever I wanted to do. There was no pain. Throughout that whole phase, I was prescribed all kinds of painkillers. I didn't bother taking none of them. I really put this Redox thing to the test. And it's really proved its time and worth its all. And it worked for me like a trick. And after 10 days of being able to be better enough to get out of my house unaided, I was so excited. I have never touched painkillers for my knees after that. I walk, I exercise, and the pain is managed and taken away by Redox. I wish I could show you my medicine box. On one of these live videos, I will show you my medicine box prior to Redox. I had everything you could think about in that box. Everything. And because I have so many allergies, I'm allergic to so many kinds of medication, like painkillers. There's just about 3 or 4 of them that I can actually tolerate. That's how sensitive my body is. I have to carry an EpiPen jab because I have allergies. And some of them are life-threatening. If you know what anaphylaxis is, yeah. So I have to carry an EpiPen all around, every time. Oh, thank God Pastor Patience is here. It's amazing when you're talking about somebody and they appear on the live video. It's so amazing. Good morning, Pastor Patience. How are you doing? Yeah. So Pastor Patience is in the house, guys. This is my angel who helped me, who saved my life that day from what I told you before. And I have not looked back after that. The weeping eyes has improved, almost non-existent. The eye twitching, where my eyes are literally feeling like they're going to fall out of socket. That's all done. I'm sleeping so much better now. All the aches and bumps and pains and, feeling tired all the time. All of those things have eased. The complications that I had because of the COVID jab that I took. This is my own story. I'm saying what happened to me. All of those things have led. There was no guarantees that 17th surgery to repair whatever was wrong, take that cyst out, was going to be the end of my story. Because I know a lot of friends of mine who have had similar and even worse complications because of that thing that we took into our bodies. But for me, after that cyst was removed, all these things, you can potentially have this, you can potentially have that. I haven't experienced none of that. And actually, I'm finding that in the last year, I've started to actually get periods again. If you know what polycystic ovaries are, you would know that some of the people who suffer from them don't even get monthly periods. For me, I'd get all the monthly issues, the pain, the cramps, the everything, but no bleeding. Can you imagine? But it's been a year. And slowly but surely, for somebody who could go for a whole year without having a period, somebody who had to be given medication upon medication, like I have to be pumped full of hormones. And when I have these hormones, it also brings its own whole set of issues. I get very emotional. I cry easily. I'm irritable. I get angry at the slightest thing. Like I'm just not the sort of company you want to keep when you're going through that. But now, I don't take those medications anymore. Because of these redox signaling molecules, my body is starting to, oh, period is a thing. Oh yeah, she has to have a period. From July till now, I've had at least 3 of them without no medication. I haven't had to use medication to force anything to happen. It just happens by itself. For me, somebody who could go a whole year without having one, that is a miracle in itself. And so Redox has done so much for me. If you know what it means to have pain on any part of your body, you would understand. Sometimes it takes people who have endured and been through illnesses themselves, like you've gone through complications with your health, that can fully understand what I'm saying to you. Because it's been a journey. I thank God every day for Pastor Patience. I really do. She knows it. It's no secret. Every single day, Pastor Patience, thank you. Because if I hadn't met this woman, if she had decided to keep this whole fantastic thing about Redox to herself, which is what a lot of people in our community do, I could very well have been 6 foot under. On the back of that story I told you about that night, by myself in my bed. How miserable would that have been? That seeker, God forbid, is no longer here. She was found not responding, irresponsive, alone in her bed. What a story. But I thank God every day. Every single day, I thank this God. Oh, he's such a good God. For bringing Pastor Patience into my life. For bringing Redox through Pastor Patience into my life. Redox has saved my life. I will drink it, I will have it, I would take it forever and a day. Why am I here making all this noise? So what's the point? I'm telling you what it has done for me. What is it? Why are you making all this noise? Are you the only person? Yeah. The reason why I'm telling you all of this is because Redox is the most modernized and latest new approach to wellness on the surface of this planet. All the other things that, you take, orthodox medication, vitamins, supplements, all these things that we take. Oh, they're told you need vitamin B. You just go to a shop and buy whatever brand and you're taking them. But the truth about it is that all these things that we're taking, the orthodox medicines, the Tylenol, the paracetamol, the chloroquine, the quinine, the whatever it is you're treating from orthodox medicine, these things are all foreign substances. They're all chemicals that your body now has to figure out, what is this? What is this complex compound that has been put inside of me? What am I supposed to do with this? And figure out what it's meant to be. Break it down and then try to absorb it and make sense of it. And if you're like me, you will take one kind of thing and it will lead to something else. And so you have to take something else for the something else for the something else. And that's how I've ended up with a whole box full of medications. There's this drug that I took for pain because I had discomfort inside of my bones. I hurt so much. And it's strong. It actually does a number on your gut if you don't take something to line your tummy. So for this thing that I'm having the pain, I now have to take something to line my tummy and then wait half an hour and then take this other thing before it works. What kind of life is that? But that was my life. I come here and I talk about it and I laugh and I smile, but this was what was happening to me behind the scenes. These redox, yeah, it's done something for me. The reason why I'm telling you all of this is that redox is native to your body. Your body already knows it. The mitochondria in your cells, it's already making this redox. It's just that when you're getting on in age, your cells are not able to make enough of it. So you need to supplement what your body is making with more of it so that you can experience optimal wellness, which is what I needed. I've had a lot of work done. Like I've been to the mechanic shop. This body has been to the mechanic shop several times, right? And broken up. Today the engine is not working. Tomorrow the windscreen, the wipers are not working. Tomorrow the tires are down. Like, yeah, that's how it feels. But thank God. Now I have the mechanic in my house. I can take the mechanic myself. I don't need anything. I can just take it myself and deal with the optimal health and wellness in my own house, in the comfort of my own home. It is the most amazing, fantastic thing that you can ever have. Trust me. 17 operations later, I didn't see any light at the end of the tunnel. Pastor Patience and I have this joke because I used to say 17 ops and counting. Because I didn't have any good prospects. It's like every time there's something. So, it's kind of like you've been through this thing so many times, you've just come to accept that it's part of your life and there's another up that is coming. And it's just a matter of time before it comes. But with this, I ain't going under no knife ever again. Me and surgical room, operation theater room, we're done. Yeah, we are done. It's a done deal. Bye-bye. I don't want to see you no more. I don't want to see. My doctor said, how comes I haven't seen you in a long time? I'm like, yeah, because I don't need to see you. I love you, but I don't want to see you that much. And he started laughing. We have that rapport. But yeah, every time I come to see you, it's because if you don't see me that much, it means I don't need to see you. Redox. R-E-D-O-X. Redox signaling molecules. We don't ship to Africa at this particular point in time. And so if you live in Africa, if you have loved ones and family members that live in Europe, North America, like Canada, United States, Colombia, Mexico, they can help figure out a way to ship it to you in Africa. But we don't ship directly to Africa at this point. Europe, oh yeah, all across Europe, from the United Kingdom to Germany to Spain to Italy, we are all in all of those places. Portugal, Netherlands, we're there. Yes, we are. Holland, we're there. Canada, US, Mexico, Colombia, Philippines, Malaysia. In all of these places, even Hong Kong, but not China. New Zealand, Australia. So if you live in all or any of these places and you're watching me today, and you're just watching, just observing, honey, it's time for you to take charge of your life. You don't want to wait until you get to that place that I got to. Lying in the bed, wanting to get up to go pee, and not being able to do so. You don't want to get to that point. You want to protect and maintain optimal health. You might be listening to me now and think, but there's nothing wrong with me. What am I taking? This medicine. It's not a medicine, honey. It's not. Redox is made in your own body. It's just that when you're aging, as I've said, it doesn't make enough of it. And you need to supplement what it makes with the supplement from the Redox to keep you going, to give you optimal health, so that you can glow and look beautiful, so that your skin can look spotless. I hear a lot of comments recently, oh, Sika, you're glowing so much. So yeah, it's because I feel excited inside of me. And when you fix what's inside of you, it comes out, it shines through everything, including your face, including your skin. Yeah. You can't just go think, oh, let me just, Redox, let me Google Redox. That's what a lot of you do. Let's just Google Redox and just get it and start taking it. My darling, I call Pastor Patience my angel for a reason. She is a cellular health coach. Cellular health coach. You need to be guided on exactly how to take it based on what you're experiencing. What I do is not what you need to do. Your body is not my body. So don't just try to be smart here and think, oh, I can go do this myself. I can read it for myself. I can do it for myself. No, you need to get help. Someone that loves you enough to stick by you, hold your hand, help you, advise you on that journey. It's not out there in the shops. If it were there, everybody would be using it. It's not just out there in Walmart or whatever, Tesco's, if you live in England, or Sainsbury's, to just go grab it. TJ Maxx or whatever, go grab it and start taking it. Doesn't work like that. You need a cellular health coach to guide you, to help you on your journey. And so if you want to get to Pastor Patience, she's here on the video. But if you want to get to her and you don't know how, send me a message. I'll help you find her. Make sure that you live in one of these countries that I mentioned. We are not in Africa, as I said. So if you live in Europe, North America, Canada, United States, Mexico, Colombia, Philippines, Malaysia, Hong Kong, Australia, New Zealand, you want to get in contact and get started. Don't wait until you're illness is at your door before you start thinking, oh, I should have listened to Sika. I should have done what this girl was talking about. The time to do it is now. Not tomorrow, not next week, not next month, right now. And some of us, but if there's nothing wrong, this thing is just a waste of money. It's just a waste of time. Why should I do it? You know why you should do this? You're working hard, saving all this money. I'm going to build a mansion in my home country. I'm going to start a business. I'm going to build a house. I'm going to buy a car. I'm going to do this. How are you going to drive that car when you're sleeping on that bed like it happened to me last year? I'm asking you. How are you going to do it when your health is not your priority? You have to first be alive. 2, be in good health. To be able to do anything, even eating. There are some people who are living, alive, but they are as good as not being here because you can't eat this, you can't have that. You have to, before you eat, you have to take this, to take that, to take this before you can eat this. Illness is something I would not wish on my worst enemy if I had one. Even when you think you are healthy, my love, as long as you're a human being and you're aging, you still need redox. Yeah, to maintain that wellness that you think you have. I didn't think I had high blood pressure because I felt fine. High blood pressure doesn't give you no warnings a lot of the time. By the time it gives you warning, you're 6 foot under. I didn't know. I always thought my blood pressure is always 120/80. I'm fine. Yeah. Until I went and got my blood pressure taken that day. And it was 160/97. 157/110. 153/something. Something I had never experienced in my life before, but it was happening. Redox is native to your body. As long as you were born of a woman and made on this planet, you have redox inside of you already. So anybody can take redox. Whether you're unwell or not, whether you're a child, infant or not. Yeah, my sister, you need redox. Today, my blood pressure was 118. 118/81. That was my blood pressure this morning. I know about you. But to go from 160/110 and not being able to move my body to 118/81 is a blessing to me. I know about you. You need to start taking redox if you know what is good for you. If you want to stay young, if you want to stay beautiful, if you want to keep doing all the things that you have dreamt of doing. What is the point of working hard, making money, and putting it all in a bank? And then when you hit your late 50s, 60s, or whenever you retire, or you want to travel the world and experience life, you now need a walker to walk. You now need a cane to walk. You now need a walking stick. You can't even eat this food. You can't go out with your friends to a restaurant because you're not allowed to eat any of the things on the menu. What kind of life would that be? It's why I am choosing optimal health. I'm investing in optimal health because I want to enjoy this life that God has given me. And now that I've had the second chance, I would do anything. Anything. I kid you not. Every single month when I'm paid, after I've settled my scores with God, the next thing I'm thinking about is getting this redox for the month because I need it to stay alive. It's not a luxury, it's a necessity. And I have found that once you start actually using this redox, when you're taking these vitamins, they even function better. It helps you to get the benefits better because you're covering all bases. The foundations of everything is being fixed with the redox. And so, my lovely, I'm not going to talk anymore. All I'm entreating you to do. Health is indeed a priority. For me, it's my lifeline to my deadline. I don't know about you. Maybe you have the luxury of making health your number 10 priority. But for me, this is my number 1 priority. Next to God is my health. Because only I know what I went through with 17 operations and living here by myself one fateful night and not being able to move myself. This is a secret my parents don't even know about. Apart from my angel, you on this video today are the second group of people to hear the secret. I've never shared it with anybody else. Hello, Sister Dorcas. How are you, sweetheart? But that is why. I love you so much. I love you so much. You're amazing. Okay? So redox is the thing for you. Try it, and you would never
Hello,
ever
Miss
regret.
Seeker. Hey, I'm
Hello,
here.
hello,
How
Pastor
are you?
Patience.
How are you? How are
I'm
you? How are
fine. How
you?
are you?
I'm great. I'm great. I'm happy for you. I just want to just say I'm so excited for you talking about Redox. And I'm so super excited because of your the high blood pressure that is so down now. I am super, super excited. I'm so happy. And if you are listening to Seeker, you all know you've heard about the health issues of Seeker, and for her to come to this point of her life, you all can see, even from her face, from her posture, everything shows that the joy on her face, the smiles. That's what Redos does. When your health is at the optimal level and everything assimilating and everything is working in equilibrium, like your health is in homeostasis. That's what we call it. Your health is in homeostasis. So when it's in homeostasis, like what Sika is experiencing right now through Redos, you have this peace all around you.
Yes.
You have this glow. You glowing. You know, the Redos helps your skin to glow. Also, it rejuvenates, it renews, it repairs every damaged cells. That's what
Yes.
it does. And it is not a medicine, and so that's why you see Zika enjoying it, because she has had so much toxins in her body. Even if his scar is not had not had all those toxins in her body, she would have looked far, far better than what you are seeing right now, because she had 17 surgeries. And she used to say 17 surgeries and counting. I stopped her. No, you cannot say that. You're not going to have it anymore, not counting. Because her mindset was like, I'm always having surgery. Something is always wrong with my body. And so it's like counting. I'm going to have 10, 20, 50 going till I die. But with Redos, it has ended. Seeker is enjoying optimal health with something that is native to your body. It is scientific, FDA approved. Yes, we are only company in the whole wide world. If any university needs Redos, they need to come to us, because the world has not been able to stabilize Redos signaling molecules. We are the only one that has been able to stabilize Redos signaling molecules.
Yes.
And so it's not strange to your body. Somebody will ask, is it fruit and vegetables? That's why you have known. No, it's not anything like that. It is exotic juices that you have known. No, it's not anything like that. It is anti something. No, does it boost immune systems like people and Zika, right? All that they know is boosting your immune system. Yeah. And so they always ask me, is it immune booster? No, it does that. That's like little percentage of that, like 10% of what it does, but it's more. It's already in your body, as Sika said, produced in our mitochondria. Yeah, Sika is from UK, so she says it different. I'm from America, so yeah, I say differently. Yeah, and so it's the same thing that we are both of us are saying. You know, it's mitochondria, and that's why it produces from, but no one has enough. That is the reason why we need to support our body to get more of Redos signaling molecules back into our body, so our system, our cells can function at the optimal level. Redos is the reason you are living. I'm able to talk because what? I am using Redos. Redos is in my body. That's the reason. I got sick. If I come here and tell my story, some of you that you are on my platform, you know my story already. But if I tell you my story, you like, wow, I nearly went blind. I could not speak. I paralyzed. Yes, I paralyzed. So if I'm now back to this normal, I can jump. I'm a sports person, can jump, I can walk, I can see, I can do anything. I don't wear contact, nothing like that. I can see clearly. Then you know that you have to allow your own body to heal itself.
That's right.
That is what I did. That is what I chose. The external people, when I say external people, you know the people I'm talking about, right? What we all know, you know, where we all go when you are sick, where you go, they told me they have ended. There's nothing that they can do for my help. So go home and go to the other side, visit your ancestors. I wouldn't have been here. I wouldn't have been here. So if you are interested in Redox, the link is there. Click on the link. You will get to us and send us a message, and also add your country code if you are sending the message. I always put that in there because a lot of people do not add their country code. So I do now know where where you are. And when you send the email back, mostly they don't respond back. So please, if you are interested, the link is there. If you see Rados Miracle, because it is a miracle. Yes, teamasia.com. Click on it, and then we will get to you right away. Don't procrastinate your health. Your health is everything. It is your worth. Do not procrastinate it. Sika, you have seen Sika. She's looking so beautiful. She's looking so amazing. Yes. So join the Rados movement. That's what I call it, the Rados movement, because this is where, this is where the world is going right now. The scientific world. We have different areas of science. So we have someone doing, cellular medicine. Someone is doing naturopath. Someone is a naturopath doctor. Someone is a cellular doctor. Now we have only one cellular doctor. So all of us, we are Rados practitioners. Like you go to the doctor, we have a nurse practitioner, medical assistant, physician assistant. We have those people. So we are Rados practitioner. Sika will soon become Rados practitioner. So wait for her. But now contact me. Very soon Sika will become Rados practitioner. Yes. So join the line and get in touch and let us help you live your best life. It could be your mom, your dad, anybody, your child, have any kind of health challenges, you contact us. And you also don't have to have, health challenges. You can get to us, take Rados, so that you can tackle the problems, the health issues before it starts. Before it starts, be proactive. Be proactive. Everyone has something that's wrong with your body, only that it takes years, 10 years, 20 years before it surfaces. And so if it has not surfaces, as Sika was saying, she didn't know she had high blood pressure, but yes, it will bring everything out, and it will also settles it for you. That's all that it does. We cannot use some words here, so that's why we are limited with this. So get to us and let's talk one-on-one, and you will enjoy your optimal health. Miss Sika, I'm going to leave you here to continue. Okay, bye. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Pastor Patience.
You're
Guys,
very
you've
welcome.
heard it all. You've heard it all from Pastor Patience. She is absolutely amazing. I thank God so much. I thank God every single day that Pastor Patience came into my life at the time when she did. If Pastor Patience hadn't come at that time, I don't know what would have happened to me. I would probably not be here, as I said. I'll send you the link, Frankie, after I jump off this video. To all of you who are saying link please, I will send you the link. Before I sign out again, do not forget the Winning Strategy and Mindset webinar on the 25th of November at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Because that thing, you gotta be on it. You should be a part of it if you want to see different outcomes in 2024. The time for planting is now. Don't wait till the 1st of January 24 to start thinking about what you're going to do for the year. Strategize now. Strategize now. I love you so much. If you missed this video, you really need to go back and watch the video. Please, there are 47 of us on this video. Share the video on your personal profile page. Don't be selfish. There might be somebody you know who needs to know about redox. You just might save a life. Just imagine being the one who helps somebody into wellness and all the blessings that the heavens will give you for what you did, for not being selfish. I love you so much. Have a lovely, lovely weekend. It's your girl signing out. I love everyone so much. May the heavens bless you and give you everything that you desired this weekend. And if I get the chance to later on in the day, I will be back again with something truly sensational. God bless you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Pastor Patience. Thank you, Salome. Thank you, Beatrice, June. Every single one of you, Sister Primrose. God bless you. Bye.